Welcome to this explainer. If you've ever just sat and watched your dog and wondered exactly how they perceive the world around them, well, you're about to find out just how incredibly different their reality is from ours. We're going to completely decode the science of the sniff today. And trust me on this, it is absolutely mind-blowing.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a universally relatable question. Why on earth does your dog insist on greeting guests by burying its nose right in their crotch? We have literally all experienced those terribly awkward moments when coming home from work or hosting friends at the house. It's a little embarrassing, right? But what if I told you there is actually a highly sophisticated biological reason behind this apparent invasion of privacy?
Section 1. The Ultimate Super Sniffer.
Let's look at the raw numbers for a second. We humans have a pretty respectable 5 to 10 million olfactory or scent receptors. But dogs? Oh man. They have roughly 40 times more than us, ranging anywhere from about 125 million up to an astonishing 300 million in specialized breeds like bloodhounds. When it comes to smelling, they are just vastly overpowered compared to us. To put that physical difference into perspective, if you took the smell-sensitive area inside a human's nose, unfolded it, and laid it out flat, it'd be about the size of a tiny postage stamp. But a dog's olfactory area, it's the size of a whole pocket handkerchief. That is a massive surface area dedicated purely to capturing odor molecules right out of the air.
But it doesn't stop at the hardware in the nose. It's the software in the brain, too. A staggering 33%, a whole third of a dog's brain, is dedicated entirely to processing odors. To put that in perspective, we dedicate a mere 5% of our brains to smell. Dogs are essentially walking supercomputers designed to process chemical information.
Section 2. Anatomy of a dog's nose.
All right, first up is this absolutely crucial piece of biological hardware called Jacobson's organ, sometimes called the vomeronasal organ. It sits right above the roof of the mouth and connects directly to the scent processing part of the brain. Its sole purpose in life is to pick up and process pheromones and invisible chemical signals in their environment, stuff that our human noses are completely 100% blind to.
And then there's the sheer mechanical genius of how they actually breathe when they're sniffing. Unlike us, they don't just take one big, deep breath. They pull in air in these rapid little bursts of 3 to 7 short sniffs. Inside the nose, a unique bony shelf actually traps those scent molecules so they aren't just washed right back out when the dog exhales. And even more fascinating, they process scents asymmetrically. They use their right nostril to investigate novel, new scents, and then they switch over to their left nostril to process familiar, comfortable scents.
Section 3. Decoding the awkward crotch. So, back to the big question, what is your dog actually doing down there? Well, basically, they're downloading your data. Human crotches and armpits pack the highest concentration of apocrine glands, which are essentially sweat glands. By sniffing these highly concentrated areas, your dog is instantly reading your age, your sex, your mood, like if you're carrying stress or hostility, and even your mating ability, gathering data on things like ovulation or pregnancy.
So the really important takeaway here is that your dog absolutely is not trying to be rude. They're just investigating sudden, massive changes in your chemical makeup. Scent changes due to menstruation, giving birth, or recent intercourse naturally draw a dog's attention because they cause a massive spike in pheromones. To a dog, this isn't taboo or embarrassing. It's just a highly interesting chemical data drop that they really want to read.
Section 4. Scent, Security, and Laundry. It turns out, to your dog, your smell isn't dirty at all. It's reassuring. To them, it smells like love, it smells like security, it smells like home. This completely reframes what we so often view as a really gross laundry-stealing habit. It's actually this beautiful, deeply comforting act of bonding.
Because a dog's sense of smell can be up to 100,000 times stronger than ours. Items that are totally soaked in your scent act exactly like a security blanket for them. A dog's absolute favorite scented treasures are usually shoes, slippers, worn t-shirts, pajamas, and slept-on blankets. These items carry a super potent dose of your unique odor profile, along with bonding hormones like oxytocin. It literally helps lower their stress and makes them feel safe when you can't be right there next to them.
Think about it like this. Coming home is basically like handing your dog the evening newspaper. When they sniff you after a long day away, they are smelling every person you met, the animals you crossed paths with, and even the stress you carried around all day. Stopping a dog from sniffing you when you walk in the door is quite literally like ripping a good book right out of their hands before they can finish the chapter. It can seriously cause them a lot of frustration.
Section 5. The superpower applied.
Now, we actually use canine noses for some incredibly serious, life-saving jobs. Law enforcement relies on them to sniff out explosives, illegal drugs, and even hidden contraband electronics or massive stashes of cash. They are obviously vital in search and rescue operations. And incredibly, we use them for disease detection. Prestigious medical journals like The Lancet have literally been studying their ability to sniff out diseases like cancer since back in 1989.
They can actually smell our psychological state too. There was this totally fascinating BBC experiment where scientists took breath and sweat samples from people in a normal, relaxed state. Then they took samples again in a stressed state, right after forcing those same people to do a really difficult, stress-inducing math problem. The dogs were able to successfully discriminate the odor and sniff out the exact samples belonging to the stressed individuals. They literally smell the chemical changes of our stress. Crazy, right?
Section 6. Channeling your dog's superpower.
So, considering all this, how do we politely redirect that awkward sniff without punishing their totally natural instincts? Well, here's a quick game plan. Step 1. Give your dog a pre-event sniff walk to really tire out their nose and satiate that curiosity before guests even arrive. Step 2. Ask your guests to present a closed fist first, giving the dog something entirely acceptable to investigate. Step 3. Utilize your basic sit and leave it commands and make sure to reward that obedience. And step 4, if your dog does go for the awkward sniff, step forward right into their space to show leadership, rather than backing away submissively.
Well, we've covered the anatomy, the behavior, and the just incredible science behind the canine nose. So the next time your dog bounds up to greet you, remember, they aren't just saying hello, they are reading the news of your entire day. So I want to leave you with this one thought. What is your scent telling them? Think about the hidden chemical stories we are sharing with our pets every single day. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring the fascinating science all around you.